Hey, how are you doing? I'm Henry, the rent-to-own man. This is a test video. I'm here to tell you how the program works. This is a practice video. Anyway, if you want to get into the rent-to-own program, the first thing you have to have is desire. You've got to have the desire to better your life, better your family's life, and to try to get a single-family home versus living in an apartment with neighbors all over the place and somewhere that you can't really put roots down. So if you've got the desire, that's the number one and the beginning component. Number two, you have to find the house that you want. And once you find the house, then you've got to have the down payment, also known as an option fee, which is generally $2,900 to $3,900 down. And you also, to qualify, you need to make at least 3 times the rent. So just to keep it simple, if the house payment is $1,000 a month, you would need total household income of $3,000 a month. So, recap, what do you need to qualify? And I also need to mention good rental history. We don't really care about medical or old dentist bills or even credit card bills or school loans. Those are important. You ought to pay them back. But that's not our primary consideration. Our primary consideration is looking at your rental history, also making sure you make 3 times household income to what the rent is, and making sure that you've got the down payment. And the reason we are pretty lenient on our qualifying is if you've got the down payment, let's just say it's $3,900 on a nice 3-bedroom home. That gives us a big cushion. That takes away a lot of the risk. So, we can overlook a lot of stuff. Down payment, 3 times the income, good rental history. If you were just evicted from somewhere 6 months ago, I'm sorry, I won't be able to help you. Okay, so you decide you qualify. You've been on my website, www.carterrentown. You found the house of your dream. The next thing you do is you call me after you look at the videos and the pictures. Then you call Henry, 615-202-5228. Make sure the house is still available. If it is, I'll make arrangements to get you in the house. Now, if you like the house, you would need to put money down. Generally speaking, you put $1,000 down, and we can hold the house most of the time up to a month. We can't hold it any more than a month. If we're holding it more than a month, your rent will start accruing 30 days from when you put the money down. But you got to have money down to hold the house, kind of like when you go to a car lot. They're not going to hold the car without money. So you put the money down, you make application. It takes me about a day and a half to run the application and formally approve you. And as I say, I'm just checking on 3 times the income. I'm checking to make sure that you've got good rental history, and I'm making sure that you've got the down payment. And that's basically it. You filled out the application, you put $1,000 down. When it's time to move in, you put the remainder of your money down, plus you also at that time put your first month's rent. Now, we will prorate you in. In other words, if you move in on the 15th of February, yes, you would pay a whole month's rent plus your option fee, which a lot of people call down payment. But come the 1st of March, you would only pay a half month's rent. So in the second month, we're going to prorate you. You're only going to pay for the number of days that you're in the house, assuming we don't hold it for more than 30 days. Now, how is this the path to home ownership? Are you not just putting down a big amount of money and paying rent? No. With some programs you are. With our program you're not. The way it's the path to home ownership is we put this in writing that as long as you're never more than 25 days late for the term of the lease, and generally we do a long-term 3-year lease, and that's for your benefit, not ours, because it gives you a chance to establish a good pay record. If you get your own loan, you can buy it. The money you put down applies toward the purchase price, or at the end of 3 years, if you've never been more than 25 days late, then we'll finance it for you at a competitive interest rate. What's a competitive interest rate? We put it in writing at the time we do the option agreement, but right now we consider about 8.5% competitive, and that's under the assumption you probably don't have great credit. If you've got good credit, you don't even need us. Just do the rent-to-own program with us, and sometime during that 3 years, go out and get your own loan. We'd rather not finance. We're a reluctant lender. We do it to make the deal work. There's a lot of unscrupulous operators out there that just want your option fee. They'll give you a 1-year option, and then it's too bad, too sad when your year's up. you know, they go ahead and do it with the next people. We don't do it that way. I couldn't sleep and do it that way. So we finance, we used to only finance about a fourth of our homes. Now we find ourselves financing about 70% of our homes because, you know, it's hard to get a mortgage. Now, do we rerun your credit at the end of the 3 years if you've never been more than 25 days late? No. You know, our thought train is if you paid us as agreed as rent, you'll pay us as agreed on a mortgage. Now, does any of the rent go toward the purchase price? Absolutely. $200 per month for the first year, that's an additional $2,400, goes toward the purchase price. That jump starts you on equity. Assuming that you did a 3-bedroom house, you would have the $3,900 available toward the purchase price, plus after the first year an additional $2,400 for a total of $5,300 down against the house, whether you went to the bank or whether you financed through us. Call me up. I'm local. I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm pretty cashed out tonight. This was supposed to be a practice video, but by golly, I may just use it as my regular video on how the program works. I've got lots and lots of references, been doing it a long time. Not everybody that goes into the program winds up purchasing. Sometimes they just, you know, maybe they get a divorce, maybe there's a death in the family, maybe they lose their job, maybe they just decide that's not where they want to live, but the majority do. And I stand on my reputation. My name is Henry Carter. This is how the rent-to-own program works as I define it. They're all not created equal. Different people have different ways they do it. You do wind up with a lease and an application with me. Everything's in writing. I'm a licensed real estate broker. What's that mean to you? It means I'm supposed to do the right thing, and I do the right thing. And, you know, we'll treat you right. Appreciate you watching this video. Thanks. Now if I can figure out how to turn it off on this web camera.